Three, two, one, we're live. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries. We're here at Synergy Cafe, and this is your friend MagicBrad from the World Nerve Center headquarters of Synergy Cafe and Synergy Ventures and in friendly Fridley. And I've got a new friend. We had some technical challenges, but we got over those. And she's in the green room right now enjoying some of our free digital hors d'oeuvres, locale too. So I'm going to go get her. Her name is Tracy, and the last name is Cushman. And I'm going to find out if she's related to those people with the Cushman golf carts. Stand by. I'll be right back. Hey, Tracy, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you, Brad?
Oh, I'm doing good. The technology, I got a love-hate relationship with the internet. You know, if we would have just had coffee, this would have been so much easier.
Right.
Technology, it's
the benefits of COVID, it gave us all this new, amazing streaming technology, and we don't even have to waste our gas mileage and drive our cars around, but whatever. But
it is fascinating that you can take your phone like this and talk to someone on the other side of the planet in real time for free. That is fascinating.
I have a brother that lives in New Zealand, so it comes in very handy.
There you go. See, it's just like in person. But you're down there in the southwest suburbs, Eden Prairie, correct?
Yes.
We've got this thing right here. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. There you are, Tracy Cushman.
That's me. Yes.
I got to ask, are you related to the people with the Cushman golf carts?
No.
You might be. You better do that ancestry thing, and you might have a big.
There's no relationship with that. Yes. No.
Okay.
Well, the funny thing is, though, everyone confuses me because have you ever heard of there's a commercial? I do residential real estate. Mm-hmm. There's a commercial real estate company with different logo, and it's called Cushman and Wakefield. And everyone always gets me confused with that. I'm like, but I go with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm that big.
I heard that. I heard that. Aren't they more commercial though?
No, I'm residential.
No, them.
Oh, they're commercial.
Yeah.
But it's funny because people are like, oh, I see your signs all over the place. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you do. But
you can expand someday into the commercial world. And
yeah, you never know.
Up with somebody by the name of Wakefield, and then you got to find an attorney.
Oh, God, right. No, yeah. I mean, I've been in the industry for, well over 2 decades. I got in of all days 9/11. So I have two plus decades of experience in this world of real estate.
I was going to ask you how long you've been playing this game.
I started of all days 9/11. I started as a general manager at Century 21. Hmm. And then after 2 years of being there, so I shadowed the broker. I was in charge of the office manager. I was in charge of the office staff, working with all of our real estate agents, handling, dealing with corporate, dealing with the broker himself. So I learned the industry from ground up. And then 2 years after being there, we opened up our own company and opened also an appraisal and a mortgage division. So I got a lot of knowledge of everything, but I can only use my real estate license, and I can't give out advice in regards to lending, mortgage side of things, and I can't give advice about appraisals because that's not in my covered license. But I do know, I do know enough to give information to my clients, and that's the best thing. That's what I love about what I do is educating my clients.
Well, isn't that what it's kind of all about? I mean, a realtor is a realtor is a realtor is a realtor. They're all over the place.
They are.
Person, like when we got our first house.
Yes.
We got it from, his name is Wes Hamilton. I've known him for a long time.
Wes Hamilton.
Yeah.
I do know Wes.
Sure.
Who doesn't know Wes?
We knew him. That's why we just chose him. We didn't search anywhere for a real estate agent, but people going to networking events. Here's my card. Call me if you ever need a house.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to Wes because I know him. You got to be known, liked, trusted, and respected and appreciated. And that's really just that. That's what you need. So people know who the heck you are.
Yeah.
It's cool that you know Wes. He's a great guy.
Oh, he's wonderful. I see him a couple times a year.
Yeah. He worked with my wife in his numerology stuff, and I took some courses from him. And
yeah, he's a multi-talented individual. We'll put it that way. So, yeah.
He knows what's going on. Anyway, back to you.
Yes, sure, whatever you want to know. Yes. So
How do
yeah,
you say your last name? Otaka. Otoka?
it's Tracy Otoka Cushman, not hyphenated. It's just Tracy Otoka Cushman. So I had my original Facebook page was Tracy Otoka, and then added the married name Tracy Otoka Cushman. I took over the real estate company in 2008 during the market crash. So the company's mine, just all mine. So we had to get rid of the appraisal company because of the market crash. They sent, it used to be lenders, because we also had a mortgage company called Mission Lending. We had Cushman Appraisals, Cushman Realty, Mission Lending, and we had to let Cushman Appraisal go because after the Great Recession, all of the appraisals were sent down to a local place in Dallas instead of the lenders being asked to going to someone who knows the area. So now you're at the mercy of, well, hopefully this guy knows my area when they're doing the appraisal. Otherwise, you're not going to get the best appraisal back. They may not get the value exactly. And then a year after that, we got rid of the mortgage company because they wanted a $50,000 surety bond owning a real estate company and a mortgage company. So we got rid of that. And then I took over the residential side. Then my husband got into commercial residential land and development projects, and that's not even anything to do with me. So yeah, I took over this company, and it's my baby, and I've been growing it. I've survived the Great Recession. I've survived the COVID markets. I've survived all the buyer-seller markets. I survived the market when in 2020, which was my best year ever, when the interest rates went from 2-3% to 6-7%, and climbed. And I was midstream and getting one of my listings on right when it happened. And I'll tell you the one lesson I've learned in real estate, if I can pass on to anyone in any career, 22 years or 20, almost 24 years in real estate, I've learned to pivot.
Yeah.
And if you can pivot in your career, you're going to do great and succeed.
Well, it's like driving a sailboat. You adjust the sail.
Exactly. But you got to know when to do it and how to do it. And I've had years and years of experience, so I know exactly how to change and redo things. So I had a client, I had a big group of clients that were all relocating because they got remote jobs, and they decided we don't like Minnesota winters. So a massive group of people relocated down to Dallas. And this was one of the last ones to go. They already bought their houses, and they were doing some remodeling, and the contractors got COVID, so it set them back. And when we finally put their house on the market, guess what happened?
What?
Interest rates went up. Only 2 people went into my house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then they're panicking, like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? So they tried Open Door. They tried, selling it to Open Door, selling it to whatever. They're offering $200,000 less than what we were able to sell it for. I did an open house. One of the buyers came back in. A couple other people came in too, but that one buyer was interested. We got it sold basically almost for list price.
So it's really cool that you have a lot of tentacles out there, knowing the industry from other parts of the business. Even though you can't claim certain things, you know where to direct people.
I can guide them. I can tell them this is, so I don't know. I'll kind of give you a little background. What I do with what my, I represent residential clients. So it's listing, sellers, buyers, and investors. For me, well, I'll start with the seller side. On the seller side, for me, the best thing for me to help a seller, no matter what the market is to get ahead of the sale. I don't want to be like, oh gosh, I just got relocated. I got to move next week. Okay, well, doesn't give us enough time to put a marketing plan together. Right now, I'm working with a client right now, and they will be relocating, but it's giving me enough time. I met with them already. So we put the plan together of everything that needs to be done to their house. So they got time during the winter. We'll shoot the photo shoot in the fall, put it on the spring, and have it ready to go. Because I don't want to unless it's late spring, I really don't want to shoot winter pictures. You want to show the best views of the house and what these people can envision, what their house will look like throughout the seasons.
Winter colors in there.
Yeah. So, but the other thing too, then it gives us plenty of time. And the other thing I do when I meet with them, I bring like a folder like this of all the different, in the MLS, we have so many options. We have this thing called Matrix. We have RPR. We have Realist Tax. We have so many different things. So my whole thing is I would rather educate the heck out of my client, give them all the information, because a lot of people think, oh, my house is worth $1 million. I'm like, well, here's all the numbers, here's the statistics, here's where your neighborhood value is. And that's what I put out also with when I do my open houses and people are stopping by, because people aren't seeing the value in the houses and they're seeing what every other house in that neighborhood, that street specifically, and the street right behind them and the street near them, what the values are. So when we price it, so I meet with my clients multiple times. So I tell them it's a fluid market. We're going to meet now. Here's where our numbers are now. And then we're going to meet again in winter, and we're coming off the winter market. So the numbers are going to come down, but we know where the numbers were when we saw the summer market, and everything's adjustable. We don't know where interest rates are going to be come spring, but we'll have a good idea going into, and we don't have a set time. We're somewhere between March and May. That's all we know. And you have to work around holidays. You have to work around spring breaks.
You've been doing this long enough where you kind of know the waves and the curves and the things that are happening. And
exactly.
And then in my world, you can't really do anything on a Monday because people just don't do Mondays. So why do an event on a Monday?
And most of the events are weekends. Usually we do and that's the nice thing. The MLS has offered us this new thing called Coming Soon. So I do twilight photo shoots. I do room measurements, photo shoots so people can get the floor plan. So I dangle that carrot a week before we put that house on the market. And then during that time, that's when I put all the pictures on. So you get all the looky-loos driving by. It's called Coming Soon. Then all of a sudden it goes on the market live on a Thursday. And then I do an open house Saturday, Sunday, and I try to get it sold right that weekend. And if not, it's typically at the open house, it's all of the clients whose agents don't want to show the house. Like, just go look at the house, see if you like it, and then they'll come back. And so that's usually my sales plan. And
it sounds really cool that you know this from the buyer and the seller and the investor, because you can kind of let the person know that this is what the buyers are looking for if you're trying to sell, and this is what an investor might be looking at if you're trying to sell. So you can kind of educate them on how to work with these people, because you're seeing it from both sides.
Yeah. And investors, I love this. So we're coming up to the investor in time, which I would call right now. We're going into the fall market. Unless your house needs to sell, I'm talking single family market. Unless your house needs to sell during this time of year, we're heading into the fall market. And that means you're selling because you need to sell. Either you're relocating, there's a death in the family, divorce. There's something causing you to move right now.
Yeah, don't they call that like I can't remember the terminology that the investors use, but like a stressed seller?
Yeah. And so the prices I'm already watching prices coming down, and I've talked to a lot of other realtors. I'm also in the Eden Prairie Chamber of Commerce. So there's a lot of real estate agents, and we talk a lot. We're like, how's it going in your market? And there's no rhyme or reason. Some houses sell like that. Some houses it takes forever. And even though you have it priced right, there's no rhyme or reason right now. Buyers are picky. There's not a lot of inventory because you're dealing with all the people who bought their houses and refinanced at 3% back in the 5 years ago, and they don't want to move. But
that's how we got ours. It was a fluke that we got it, and we got it under the asking price.
Oh,
and we got it at 3%.
Good for you. I hope you
really
locked that in.
Yeah,
you did lock it in. So that's the other thing coming.
I grew up in Fridley in the same house for 53 years. Then I got married. We moved to Golden Valley. Then we sold too early and went to Asheville, North Carolina. Then got homesick and came back to Minnetonka by Ridgedale in an apartment. And then we said, let's get a house. And we drove all over the city, way down by you, way up Coon Rapids, White Bear Lake. And then we ended up I'm back in Fridley, about a mile away from my brother where he's living.
Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Yeah. So this time, we're moving from the seller's market into the investor's market because housing prices are there, or if they're looking for a single family home. So I do have investors. Some buy single family homes. A lot of them will buy townhomes.
You must know Mike Jacka.
Like who?
Mike Jacka?
I don't know Mike Jacka.
You should know if you were going to work with real estate investors. He's the guy that owns the Minnesota Real Estate Investors Association.
Oh, interesting. Well, I just have regular investors. I have quite a few, just a group where we know that the fall market's their time that we're going to start looking. And they know, because they use them as rentals. They'll go in, fix them up, make them look nice, because they don't want their leases to be winter to winter. It's harder to rent in the winter. They'd rather get it in the winter, fix it up, put it on the market in the spring, and then they get it, you'll get it rented out. And it's a great opportunity for them, especially if they're cash buyers, loading up their portfolio. From the buy side, so we've covered sellers, we've covered investors. Now on the buyers, I typically want them, I really educate them, especially, okay, let me ask you a quick question, Brett.
Uh-oh.
What is the average age of the first-time home buyer in today's market?
30.
38.
38.
Last year it was 36.
I didn't get mine till I was 50 something.
Your first house?
Yeah.
I thought you said you lived all over the place. Was it all rental?
No, I lived in the same house for 53 years.
Got it. But did you own it, or did you? It was
just
your
parents. My parents deceased, then it was mine and my brother's. Basically, me and my brother, I put it back and forth between us.
Okay.
And then when I left, I says, "You deal with it."
Yeah.
And now he's up there, so when he dies, I'll just get it. And
yeah. So the average age for the first-time home buyer is 38. And, there's a lot of financing options out there. There's so many great ones. I work with a lot of great lenders, so I try to get my clients pre-approved. That's the best thing, because once you get that pre-approval, you know what budget you're working in. Yeah. And a lot of buyers have a hard time. Like, I want to be in this city. Well, guess what? Your budget only covers that city. Like, a lot of people want to be in Eden Prairie, but then Chaska is more affordable, or Carver is more affordable, or Chanhassen, or Shakopee, or Bloomington. So I'm all over the place. If you go to my Zillow page, you'll see I've sold houses all over the place. I'm just
Do you work primarily though in the Southwest down there?
I would prefer to, but I will sell anywhere.
Of course.
I mean, not too far, within reason of the Twin Cities, because I got to know the market. I mean, I know the Twin Cities very well because when you're dealing with buyers, your buyers aren't necessarily going to want Eden Prairie, or I'm working with a buyer right now. We're looking downtown in Loring Park. So yeah, I go wherever the market takes me, wherever my clients want it. My clients are my boss. I'm the boss of my own company.
If you had your choice, you would prefer to work in that area.
Yeah, I would love to, but the problem is we're looking at inventory issues. There's not enough inventory for the amount of buyers, and at this interest rates, people with 3% interest rates aren't wanting to sell their houses. Like I said, there has to be a reason for them to sell. Either they're upgrading, like, say they've outgrown their house. Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have a 6% interest rate, or you're relocating. And I said, like, the same thing: death, divorce, another reason. There's got to be a reason you're wanting to sell a house at 3%.
Well, those things are important for the marketer to understand what kind of certain keywords to use to attract those type of people that are looking to buy or sell for what reason.
Right. And, the other thing too, I don't think people realize there's down payment assistance available with some of these mortgage companies. I know one of the companies that I work with, they have there's a couple of different things. They have a program if you're going to buy in Carver, which was offering down payment assistance of, a significant amount. There's another company that I work with that also allows, I don't know if you've ever heard of bridge lending. So basically they come out, buy your mortgage. If you're a seller and you're looking to buy a house, they come in, pay off your mortgage, and then you don't have to put your house on the market just yet. You're able to go out and, put your offer in, and you're a cash buyer. And that's still a thing. Some houses sell in multiple offers. Some only sell in regular traditional sales where you're not dealing.
I think it's important to work with someone like you that's been there, done that, and all these different little tools that you can. It's almost like cooking something. You know exactly where the salt and pepper is, and exactly what to do with things. Rather, because when I first did this, there was a little box I should have checked, and because we got the loan from Bremer Bank, and then they sold it to Wells Fargo. I didn't want that. I didn't know that. I didn't know they could even do that. I thought I was with Bremer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Wells Fargo, what the hell?
See, the company I work with is New American Funding, which is a really great opportunity. They have a great financing. They, like I said, the bridge loan, what they call it, NAF cash. But here's the nice thing: they hold your mortgage. And the nice part they do also offer is if the market comes down in rates, they refinance it for free because it's already included in the original purchase. So as the rates come down, and they'll refinance, and you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to pay another $3,000 to $5,000 to have my house refinanced to get that lower price. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I know out there. There's a lot of people I work with. There's a lot of people I collaborate with. I just recently started collaborating with someone who in my office. He's in heating, cooling, plumbing, air conditioning, inspections, has his own home warranty company. That's a huge one to have. You know how you're going against the big ones who offer that. So I'm collaborating with him on the home inspection side of things.
How do you do your marketing and promotions, and how do you find clients? Is it just because you're so well known and you hang out at the Eden Prairie Chamber all the time, or
it's word of mouth? That's
just
I wouldn't be in it for 22 years. I'm a small
you
boutique.
go through a lot of shoes, don't you?
I do. I have a lot of shoes though. No, I love people. I love meeting new people. I love hearing their story. I love helping. I love my biggest thing in real estate. And if you're going to get into a career, you got to have a passion. And my passion is to educate. And there's some other videos out there on me on YouTube about stuff I've been working on and doing and have won awards on. But my passion is educating people. I don't want people to move into a house and be like, oh, I hate this house. Tracy sold it to me. I don't like this house. When I walk into a house, every house I walk into with my buyer, I'm like, can you see it? So is it your 5-year house? Is this your 10-year house? Is this your forever house? Can you, if it's 5 years, can you see yourself coming home to this house and calling it home and be comfortable with that? I don't want them to be in a house where they're going to hate the house. Right. You know, the other thing I always ask them too is, we also have to think about the affordability of the house. Can you afford this house? That's the big thing we're going to be seeing. And it's known within the industry. It's not out there very much in the public, but I'm giving you a little tidbit of knowledge that's not really out there. We are starting to see pockets. And when I say pockets, we're not looking at 2008. But pockets of short sales, and I don't want to say foreclosures. I can't guarantee that, but short sales, because you have the people who have the 3, 5, 7-year non-fixed mortgages. They didn't fix the rate. They just got an adjustable rate, thinking, well, it might go down. Well, guess what? Their rates are adjusting and they're paying 6%. There's no way it's not going to get any lower. So those people are going to be stuck in short sales unless they have they saw the possibility of, yeah, my career is going to be phenomenal in 7 years. I'm making this amount, so I will be able to cover it. Then we're also seeing, because of, the COVID markets, you remember how those houses were selling? I had a client move here. We were putting offers in anywhere between, in Eden Prairie, putting offers in houses anywhere in the $500,000 to the $800,000 price range, putting in offers between $40,000 over to $200,000 over asking price, and still didn't get it. Well, now that is the problem, because guess what? All those houses with those inflated values, because it raised the market, it also raised the tax bracket. So now you have homeowners who have these houses and now they can't afford the taxes on their houses, plus the mortgage, plus, then we're also dealing with insurance. Insurance is a whole nother thing. I deal with that. That's the other thing we're dealing with. I have enough information about that because I'm also in the Chamber of Commerce and I'm up to date on a lot of this stuff. Insurance companies are now not wanting to cover your roofs of a certain age. Now it's coming down to, you might be responsible for it, and they'll only cover 40% of a roof. You know how much it costs to replace roofs these days? It's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, depending on what you're looking at. Yeah. So yeah, there's so much to real estate, and I have a plethora of knowledge. I have a vast array of people I can reach out to. Same thing with when it comes to selling a house. I'm well aware of all the different handymen to reach out to, the electricians, down to painters, down to.
You got a network.
I've built a network over 20 some years. So yes. And so I can kind of tell, like, okay, well, this person will probably be better for this, and this will be better for that. Because I want to keep the seller's budget down, because you know what they're doing? They're not going to be living there. And that's the thing. A lot of my sellers, they do all the remodeling, and then I come in and we stage the house, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I wish we would have done this years ago. We probably would have stayed. I'm like, too bad, we're putting it on the market. You're moving. You've already got other plans. You're retiring.
A pool and a sauna. What the hell is going on here?
Right, right. And some houses I walk into, like, I met a client a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, "You already staged your house?" I'm like, "We didn't even put it on the market yet." And she had her windows cleaned and everything. I'm like, "Can you come clean my windows for me?" I'm like, "This wasn't even supposed to happen." Like, they're trying to show it in the best light. I'm like, "It's not like I'm coming to do photography today." But yeah, so I just love working with clients. I love hearing their stories. I love learning about everything that they loved about their house, because that's the greatest thing. I pick up on those pointers and I'm like, okay, when I have to sell this house, this is the selling feature. This is the selling feature. This is the selling feature. You want to, focus on that. You're going to be dealing with some issues on some houses like, ooh, railroad tracks, 2 miles away, or
Yeah.
power lines, or street noise, or, but I know the simple fixes for that. I know, like, let's add, more landscaping to take away some of that noise from the traffic and stuff. So yeah, but I'm very passionate about it. I love it. Like I said, I'm in the Eden Prairie Chamber of Commerce. I host Purse Bingo at Fat Pants. I want to say they do it 3 or 4 times a year. So I sponsor that. But yeah, I get involved in a lot of the networking things. I'm also very involved with our Eden Prairie school system. I do intern programs twice a year, because I also have another branch to my company called the Faces of. And I got involved with that a couple of years ago. The Faces of is a way that I give back to my community. I interview people. So it's there's 2 sides to it. It's the side of giving back to, could be dog walkers, policemen, just your next door neighbor, could be anyone. And then through the Chamber of Commerce, for me, what's great is they're able to use it for their social media and something that sets them apart. Because what it is, Faces of does the interview. So I send out the interview questions, then I meet them in person. We go through the whole interview, and then it's posted on the Faces page. And then I have the interns. For them, it's great because they become assistant project managers. They go out, they find all the people. They fill out the interviews, they work on all that stuff. So they're hands-on learning real career, tasks that they can use later on in life. And so, yeah, I've met a lot. That's my goal. So I own the whole territory of Eden Prairie as the real estate agent. There's nobody else.
Sounds like it.
Well, no, I don't own all.
You've been there a long time, right?
The Faces of, yeah. The Faces of is strictly for Eden Prairie. Either you work here, you live here, you volunteer here. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I do a lot of stuff with the high school there. I was just there this past spring. There's a capstone project that they have, and I had to work with a couple students. And it's funny because one of my Faces of, and one of the people, when I had my 20th anniversary celebration, they had to do a redo of her social media page and where she could best do this or that. And I got to work with them. I'm like, well, if you change this or that, because I have over, besides my real estate knowledge, I have over 30 years of business management skills. I started off at the age of 20, started off as a telemarketer. 2 weeks later, I was a office manager or telemarketer. Then I was 2 weeks later, I was their receptionist at a home security company. 2 weeks after that, I was pulled into the office manager's office to become her assistant. 4 weeks after that, she quit. And guess what? At the age of 20, suddenly I'm managing an office. I'm an office manager. So I have had business management skills for over 30 years. So yeah, I know I've learned a lot about the business of everything inside out, but real estate is my passion.
Well, that sounds like it all connects together too.
It does. And as a homeowner, you're a homeowner too. You're probably forever doing little projects here and there. You gotta, seasonal, you gotta do this, gotta do that. So
that's what some people don't think about. It's like we were in an apartment for a long time where the only thing we had to do is go get the filter. Other than that, light bulbs and everything else, you just call them up and they come and fix it. You don't have to worry about nothing. But when you got a house, all of a sudden, oh, I didn't realize that gutter gets clogged up because the squirrels are putting stuff down there.
Yes.
Start learning stuff. So, yeah. Tracy, before we've gone for almost a half an hour now, but do you have anything on your website here that like for first-time home buyers or first-time home sellers or some educational things they can learn about?
There's the tabs on there where you can click on buyers, sellers, et cetera, where you can get a lot more information on that. Also, you can go on my Facebook pages. I have 3 of them, where I do put down a lot of tips on buying homes. What's the newest trends? What are the current prices? What's the current market look like? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? We're not in a buyer's market yet. We're still kind of in between a seller's market because we just don't have enough inventory. But if you go to my Facebook pages, I have Tracy Otoka. It's my regular. It's now I changed it from a personal page to also a business page, and then I also have Tracy Otoka Realtor, or Tracy Otoka Cushman Realtor, which is also another Facebook page where I put stuff there. And then I have Cushman Realty as well. Okay. That's just my business page. Then I have my Twitter page. I started a YouTube channel. I have a couple interviews on there because I got involved with a company called Broker Agent Advisor. And I love this company. They've been a company that's been around for over 30 years. And it used to be a publication. Now it's more or less online stuff. And I always wanted to be on the cover. And you couldn't be on the cover unless your broker signed off. Well, guess who's the broker? Me. Yeah, right. So I could not get onto this page for the life of me. And they finally opened it up. If you've known someone in the industry, well, hello, I've known a lot of people. I know this title company. I will follow her forever because she's been able to close deals that never should have closed. She works her magic, like you, magic. Right. And she vouched for me, and they have what's called Rising Star, 5-star, 7-star. Well, they submitted it and they send me an email back like, we don't quite think you're 5-star. I think we have her resubmit it. And sure enough, I got a 7-star, and then they interviewed me. And so I got a 7-star rating. I'm still on there as a 7-star agent. And not only that, and that was in 22. And I'm also top 100 on their page. So there's only 100 agents. I'm 7-star. And then in June of 2023, I got the cover of their magazine as 7-star broker agent, top 100 in the country for the month of June. And that's where my YouTube interview is for that. And that was sponsored by the Faces of, and the Faces of saw me, and they saw my passion for Eden Prairie. Like I said, I moved here in 94, and I drove all over the place. I mean, I like Bloomington. I love the housing out there. I love the contemporary housing. I love the trails, just everything about it. And then I like Edina, very expensive. Drove around all kinds of things, but one day I just happened to stumble upon Eden Prairie, and I love the quirkiness of our streets.
Yes, they're a little curvy.
None of it curvy, but the street names change. You're on Scenic Heights, you cross Mitchell Lake, or you cross one road.
It's kind of what I mean.
It turns into another street.
North, south, east, west doesn't matter.
No. And then another street, it's called Mitchell Road. And at a certain point, it turns to Baker Road. So our roads don't make any rhyme or reason. Then you have Prairie Center Drive, and you can get lost around. Eden Prairie you can get lost around here. But now that I've been here, moved here in 98, I've fallen in love with the community. It's a great, diverse community. And where I live, I've lived here now almost 23 years in the same house. My kids have been raised here, babies, both in high school right now, going off to college soon. And it's neighbors helping neighbors. It's amazing. That's what I love about, at least in Eden Prairie. I know there's probably other neighborhoods and other cities that neighbors helping neighbors is a thing, but God, you can't pick your neighbors. You can pick your house, but you can't pick your neighbors. And I just happened to land in one of the best. I love where I live. It's not a mansion. It's not the fanciest place in the world, but God, let me tell you, the neighborhood, it's the most amazing. We're
in an area it's got a horseshoe kind of thing, so there's not traffic going through and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of peaceful. But we've been going for almost 35 minutes now, so I'm gonna close this out. But you got so much information. Maybe we should do this again.
Oh, absolutely.
We should do one just about buyers, and do one just about sellers, and one just about investors.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Like, I am going to be actually starting pretty soon. I am going to be moving into the podcast world. doing a lot of stuff with collaboration, because I want to bring along the experts along too and have them speak to stuff.
Synergy Collaborative.
Okay. Very interesting. Yeah. And the other thing too, I know you mentioned if there's any incentive things, if you work with me now, I don't, I'm not part of these big companies that have teams. I don't have to pay franchise fees. So you're not paying that with me. And also I don't charge any admin fees. And I can't give any names out, but I know because my title company has told me these admin fees can add up. Some of them charge up to $1,400.
I don't like those little fees, those little secret things.
Yeah, and you've got your buyer broker fee, you got all these different fees. I don't charge all that stuff. And my listing prices are very reasonable. I'm very competitive because I'm a small business. I don't have to pay the large overhead of the franchise fees. So yeah, if anyone works with me directly, I'm telling you, it's zero for franchise. Or there's zero cost, closing cost, buyer side, seller side for buyer broker fees. Zero. And if you do use me as well too, I do have partnerships with that I've collaborated with, like I told you, who does the inspector. He will lower the value, I think $50 off of the inspection price. So yes, so
you got connections.
I've got connections. So yes, I sure do.
Well, we'll have to have more conversation. There's probably other people that we know, even though we're on opposite sides of the city.
Yeah.
I get down to Eden Prairie once in a while.
Okay, wonderful.
Well, I'm going to let you go into the little green room. If you want to stick around, we can chat some more. But if you got to get going, I understand that too.
Oh no,
I appreciate all of your knowledge. You got so much of it. It's it's good to have someone that knows these things, because when I did this house buying thing, I didn't understand it. You got this big book that you got to sign this and sign that, initial that, initial that, initial that. I didn't know what I was signing. I was just doing it. I'm just hoping that nobody's trying to screw me.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that from what I've learned, because this contracts constantly change, they update each August 1st. So when I first started, the seller's disclosure was only 2 pages. Now it's over 10 pages.
Ah, that's crazy.
So it's a lot of work for them. But yeah, like I said, I'm all about educating buyers, sellers, investors, and making sure it's the right place for them. I mean, I wouldn't be in business still if I wasn't having clients, and I wouldn't be in business if hadn't I not made it through all of the other markets and know when to shift, know when to pivot, know what to do, have my marketing plans, the strategies, have alternatives, other options. But yeah.
Okay, Tracy, I'm going to pop you into the green room. If you want to hang out, go ahead.
Okay.
Other than that, so I appreciate you doing this. You got a lot of knowledge there, kid.
Thank you.
There you have it, our friend Tracy. And here's how you get a hold of her. Cushman, not like the golf cart. I mean, kind of like the golf cart, but Cushman Realty. Real simple to remember. Cushy. Okay, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and tuning in. If you want to know more about me, you know how to just Google the keyword MagicBrad and you'll find the good, the bad, and the ugly. So peace, love, and happiness. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be nice.